Your ears are so big. You look like a fluffy Yoda. My fluffy Yoda. Hi everybody, so today I have a makeup look for you and it's going to be slightly different to my normal makeup videos in that it's a celebrity inspired look. Wing liner and lashes is just what I'm really feeling right now. I've been really into kind of very contoured matte skin and also having quite a natural coloured lip, and the person obviously doing that so well right now is Adele. Her makeup just looks stunning every single time. Recently I've had a few comments from you guys as well telling me I look a little bit like Adele, which personally I do not see at all, but thank you anyway. So I thought I would have a go at recreating her kind of signature winged liner look. So that's what I've done for you today, and I hope you like this video. I haven't done many celebrity inspired videos, but they're always really fun to do, so let me know if you'd like to see any others, and let's get on with the makeup look. So starting with the Diorskin Forever foundation, this has actually been one of my favourite foundations at the moment for very natural looking skin but still really great coverage. So it covers really well, it's really flawless looking, but it still gives you a very skin-like texture. It is a little bit more on the matte side, so it works perfectly for this look, but it still gives you a nice kind of glowing lit from within radiance, which I always really like to have in my foundations. I'm going to conceal with the by Terrybly Densillis concealer. This concealer has a hefty price tag for what it is. It's not one of my favourites, but it does the job of brightening underneath my eyes so well. So I'm putting quite a lot of this on, and I'm really making a kind of deep V shape underneath my eyes and all the points that I want to brighten. So along my nose as well, on my forehead I kind of make a little star shape, and then a little bit goes on my chin too. Blend that all in with a beauty blender to give a really seamless finish. I make sure the sponge is a little bit damper than usual. I don't wring it out as tightly as I normally would because this concealer can be a little bit drying. I find if you do that, it just adds a bit more moisture to the product. So then I set that all down, and this has actually been one of my favourite face powders at the moment. It's the Rimmel Match Perfection Loose Powder. So I'm just putting a really light layer of that all over my skin because I'm going to be using other powder products, and I just want to give my skin a nice smooth base for all those products to go on top of. So I'm just putting a really small amount of this powder all over with a nice fluffy brush, and then it's time to contour. And for this I'm actually using an eyeshadow. This is from Illamasqua and it's their Heroine eyeshadow, and I love this for a really dramatic contour. I think it's a really perfect shade. It's very cool toned, it's not got any warmth in it at all, and it just works so perfectly at giving you that really chiseled kind of shadowed look underneath your cheekbones. So I put that in the hollows of my cheeks, take it up above my temples as well, and then of course underneath my jaw, just to make things look a bit more refined and a little bit slimmer around my neck. And then also my nose gets a little bit of this too, just more so on the bridge and with a really small amount of product on the brush. So then it is on to blush. This is actually one of my new favourites. It's from Becca and it's the shade Flowerchild, and it's a really lovely brightening pink with a little bit of shimmer and just the right amount of kind of gold flecks in it to really brighten up the look. So I pop that kind of high up on my cheekbones. I don't really keep it on the apples of my cheeks. For brows, I'm actually using a combination of two shades of the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and I have medium brown here and taupe. So medium brown is the darker one, and for that I just kind of use it on the outer portions of my brows, so mainly to kind of emphasise the arch of my brow, and I do like to make that a little bit more crisp and slightly higher and also a little bit thicker. So I kind of feather that through, and then I move on to the lighter shade, which is taupe, and that is just reserved for the front portion of my brow to make everything look nice and blended. Then it's on to eyeshadow. I'm going to start with a creamy base. This is from Topshop, and it's a really nice shade for just kind of laying down a little bit of depth and a bit of colour because I'm going to be using some shimmery eyeshadows on top of this. So I just pat it into my eyes and then blend that in with a fluffy blending brush, and this is a really nice product because it dries a little bit more matte. It's not a very sticky cream shadow. The palette that I'm using today is from Stila. It's one of my favourites. It's the In the Light palette, and I'm using the two shades Kitten and Bubbly mixed together for this because I just want a very neutral light shimmer, and I'm going to wash this all over the lid and keep it pretty much at that for the eyeshadow look. I want it to be very simple but just very brightening and light. And then of course the liner is the most important part. This is the Schwing liner from the Balm. I actually think this looks very much like a gel liner in texture. It kind of gives you that really beautiful matte finish, and Adele's liner is always so matte and rich and black looking, so this is actually a really great way to cheat that if you're not a massive fan of using gel liners. And this one has such a small nib that you can really get a nice sharp and precise line, and I really like to build up the bulk of the line first along my lashes and then just do a very small flick at the end because Adele's liner isn't really that winged out most of the time. Lashes, of course, are essential because Adele's lashes are just incredible. These are the Simply Fleur lashes from Eylure and Fleur de Force's collaboration. I really like these because they're very rounded and they give that really rounded eye look, which is a very 60s look, which is definitely what we're going for. And I actually put these on before I use my mascara because I find they just blend better with my natural lashes that way. And then I do top up with a layer of mascara. This one's from Tilbury. It's the Full Fat Lashes and it's just my favourite product to use with false lashes. So I put on a very, very thick layer of this. I like it to be a bit clumpy and a bit thick, and then of course on the bottom lashes too. And I kind of use the tip of the wand just to really put a lot of product on there. So lastly, I go back into the eyeshadow palette and I'm using the darkest brown colour here just to give a little bit of extra definition in the crease. Once all the eyeliner's mapped out, I find this just to be a lot easier because you can really see exactly where it needs to go. For lips, I have a combination of 3 products that I'm going to be using. The first one is Boldly Bare Lip Pencil from MAC. This is a really beautiful muted kind of browny pink tone. I kind of trace my lips to be a little bit bigger than their natural shape just to give some fullness, and then on top of that I'm using MAC's kind of sexy lipstick. This is probably the closest lip colour to the lip pencil, so it just kind of adds a bit more dimension and depth of colour on top of that, and it's also a really beautiful creamy formula too. And then just to add a little bit of gloss and shine in the centre of my lips, I'm using the Lancome Juicy Shaker in the shade Life's a Peach. I love this colour, it's so pretty, and it just adds a slightly peachy pinky tone to the lips, which I think really, really works. Back into the Stila palette one last time, and this is for highlight, and I'm using the shade Kitten for this. I think it makes such a great highlighter as well as an eyeshadow, and that is the finished look. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm a massive, massive fan of this makeup. I think it's just beautiful, really classic. Leave me a comment down below telling me what you thought of this look, and I will see you all soon. Bye!